My uncle's will stated that my sister and brother get 3 million each while I got the rundown dinner. My uncle had passed away after battling cancer for 5 years. Today was the will reading of his estate. In the ordinance with this final will and testimony, Chrissy, you are allotted $3 million in the beach house in Beverly Hills. Greg, you are also allotted $3 million in the little ranch in Texas. My siblings were sitting there like proud peacocks as they heard what Uncle Tim had left them. Jacob, you are given the dinner in Florida along with the condo there. My siblings instantly burst into laughter. Little Jacob still has to work for his money. So sad that you can't borrow my millions, Greg taunted viciously. Don't worry, Jacob. I'm sure you will find ways to make money. Working hard and all that, Chrissy stated with an evil smirk as she waved her hand at me. I couldn't help but scowl at Chrissy and Greg. I would have been happier if Uncle Tim was still alive, but I kept my mouth shut. This concludes the reading and distribution of your uncle's estate. Finally, I can take a vacation, Chrissy flaunted. I stood up and snapped at the pair. I bet you lose everything Uncle Tim gave you both in under a month. I slammed the door on my way out. Uncle Tim and I used to always get together at his diner. We could talk for hours about our lives, his stories, and even our dreams. I just want to provide for my family and myself, I told Uncle Tim one day. He stared at me for a few minutes before I started shifting nervously. You're not like your siblings, Jacob. You see your worth in providing. They only see their worth connected to what they have. When the day comes, I hope you are pleased if I give you the diner. My mouth drops open in shock as he not only validated my feelings on the matter, dissed my siblings, but also promised me a legacy. I don't know what to say, I say, looking at Uncle Tim as he chuckles at me. But you better not die anytime soon either, I said as I gave him a nudge. Not planning to kick the bucket just yet, brat, he had said. It's all I can see as I stand in the diner. Part of me wondered why he had even bothered with my siblings, let alone give them so much. I sigh as I start the renovations to the diner. It was the day before the grand reopening when I found a hidden safe in the wall connecting my officer to the food storage. What the? I stared at it for a long moment before entering in many combinations. Uncle Tim's birthday, anniversary to his wife, the dates to all of his children, the day he bought the diner, and absolutely none of it worked. He couldn't have known, I mutter as I enter the code for the grand reopening of the diner. The safe clicks as I open it with a shake of my head. Of course you knew, I mutter. Inside was a single envelope that I grabbed and went into my office. I opened it with shaking hands. Dear Jacob, the note read, I left you the most precious and important belongings I own. The diner, if done correctly, used to rake in roughly $8.2 million of income at its location. I have no doubt with your renovations it will double. What you don't know is that the condo is worth $50 million today, and the money I had given your siblings was what I was quoted to fix the Beverly Hills house and the little ranch in Texas. If they decide to spend it, they will lose more money because there is a clause that they cannot sell either of these properties until 2 years have passed. The property taxes on both is roughly $1.5 million. The only person who can be legally able to purchase these two properties in the time frame of 2 years is you, Jacob. It was time your siblings learned the meaning of reality and hard work. In the envelope is your first paycheck of the month. Keep working hard to provide for you and your family. I will always love you, Uncle Tim. I was silently crying at his words as I laughed at him getting one over on Chrissy and Jacob. In under a year, Chrissy and David sold me their properties from Uncle Tim for pennies on the dollar. Both properties were currently being renovated. The diner that year had bloomed into a multi-million-dollar chain as I opened another 2 diners just like it. Chrissy and David, well, you missed a spot of ketchup, I call out as I walk back to my office.